Thanks to Cathy Finton and the team for putting the budgets together. And I do think it's safe to say that this evening there seems to be broad agreement that the capital budget for social housing is insufficient to meet the demands that we currently face as a City Council on behalf of the people of Dublin City. And I think we need to use this opportunity that we have this evening to force a change of housing policy direction from the Fine Gael government. I just think that we can go on pleading and talking about urgent meetings with the Minister. We had it 2 years ago with the previous Labour politician Alan Kelly when he was the Minister. There were secret meetings, there were important meetings down in the Custom House. We had the present Minister for Housing, Simon Coveney of Fine Gael, come in here. He listened, he was nodding his head, he was concerned, and he hasn't done a thing. Actually, the budget in October is an absolute disgrace. If you were to have any real intent in resolving the housing and homelessness crisis, which I think it is important to say is the worst that this country has ever faced in the state's history. It's pretty shocking that right now nationally there are 6,000 people who are officially homeless, over 5,000 of whom are living in Dublin City. There's 1,000 families in Dublin City with over 2,300 children who are officially homeless, living in temporary emergency accommodation. We have never had a social housing waiting list as we have right now. It's the longest housing list in the state's history. There are more people in Dublin City seeking housing from Dublin City Council, which should be, housing provision should be our main concern. There are approximately 30,000 applicants on our list. That conservatively equates to over 50,000 people who are on our housing list. And when we look at the capital budget for the next 3 years, 2017 to 2019, what do we have? We have a figure of 796 million, which the City Council projects will provide us with 1,300 new social housing units and an extra through construction and building, and an extra 480 through acquisition. This simply isn't good enough. It really and truly isn't good enough. And as we have, as a council, some people have said to me today that we have a duty to adopt an annual budget. Most certainly we do, and we will adopt a budget. But I think we also have a duty to those people who are living in temporary emergency accommodation, the unofficial homeless who are living in overcrowded family homes and friends' homes and whatnot, sleeping on floors, couch surfing, living day to day, living very hectic, chaotic lives. We have a duty to those people. We have a duty to the 2,300 children who are currently homeless in the City of Dublin. Think about that. Just think of that over 2,000 children's lives are being ruined. Their chances, their early childhood years are the most formative in determining how they'll get on in life. And what are we doing to help those children? Nothing. We're doing absolutely nothing. So the motion from the People for Profit group here this evening is I think, and actually it's a real opportunity for us, and I would appeal to my fellow councillors to look at it and consider it seriously, that we reject the adoption of the annual budget here this evening, and we seek an urgent meeting with a representative group of councillors and the tArdMheara with the Minister, with all three relevant ministers, Finance, Public Expenditure and Reform and Housing, to actually discuss and secure adequate levels of capital funding over the next 3 years, which will see a significant reduction in the applicants who are on a social housing list and those who are in temporary emergency accommodation. This is a really good opportunity for us, and I think we have to take it, because otherwise, Chair, all that's going to happen for the next 2 years is we're going to bemoan the fact that housing shortage in Dublin is getting worse, that the homelessness crisis is getting worse, that the figures are shocking. We're all tut-tutting when there's 1,000 families in temporary emergency accommodation. We'll all tut-tut when there's 2,000 families, when there's 5,000 children in temporary emergency accommodation. We'll just keep tut-tutting all the way along. We'll keep passing by all of our meetings and not doing anything concrete to try, and I mean try, change the housing policy in this country. And I think that's what we have to do. Fine Gael have no interest, and this is very clear, national level, Fine Gael have no interest in resolving the housing crisis. It's a social crisis that will not be resolved by market mechanisms. It requires major state intervention, and as the largest local authority in the country, Dublin City Council has a major role to play in that. So I appeal to my fellow councillors here this evening to support the motion that we reject adopting the budget here this evening, and we seek an urgent meeting to secure the funds that are so badly required. Thank you.